Dr. Chris, Adventure Chiropractic. We're back with another Fitness Friday. I'm over at Venture Fitness today on the back side of the building. If you want to come in and check it out, give us or Jason Natal a call and we'll get you set up. We'll get links down in the description below so you can do that if you want to come check us out. But we're going to talk about these tight front of the shoulders today and how you can get rid of them and fix them. If you're only stretching those occasionally, you're probably leaving about half the issue unsolved, and that's why it keeps coming back. So for anybody that is hunched at a computer all day, every day, or maybe doing line work, factory, restaurant work, or taking care of kiddos, bending down in front of you all the time, carrying young kids, we get tight here. Most people have an issue with being super tight on the front of their shoulder and your shoulders round forward, okay? So these rounded shoulders aren't something that anybody typically shoots for or aims for. We want to get those shoulders pulled down and back. And for a lot of people, if you're doing something effective like pull-ups in your routine or lat pull-downs, you're gonna be a lot better off. Your shoulders are gonna be in a lot better, more relaxed position. They're gonna feel better, but not everybody's up to that yet. So we're gonna talk about an easy way to fix this that you can start on today if you'd like. Resistance bands or sometimes just body weight activity. Laying on the floor is enough to get you started. So we're gonna go through what I think is one of the most effective ways to take care of it, and then we're gonna talk about one little hack at the end, so hang in there for a minute. We're gonna go ahead and look at these bands that I knocked together today to understand why you need to actually strengthen, not just stretch. If you're only stretching the front side of your shoulder, what you're looking at here is a really strong set of muscles here. You got pec minor and pec major, so the anterior shoulder muscles. These are typically a lot bigger and more developed and stronger for most people. Compared to these little guys, there's a group of a half a dozen smaller muscles on the back side of the shoulder. And so if these are much bigger than these, that's like hooking up a super big resistance band to this resistance band. When I put an equal stretch on them both, look how that right hand gets overstretched so much more because the muscles are just plain smaller. It takes a lot to move this thing. So what a lot of us do is we're walking around trying to figure out how to get stretched out, and maybe a couple times a day we'll put our shoulder up against a wall like this and we'll lean forward. Be careful if you're doing this and you see that shoulder shoot forward. You might feel a stretch here, but this is not what we want. We do not want our shoulders even in a worse position. So we got to tuck our shoulder blade down and back. We need to keep this nice, non-painful looking angle in our shoulder and then step forward. So that's a good stretch for this. But the problem is if that's all you're doing, you're putting a stretch on this purple band for a few seconds. You're anchoring it so you don't have to worry about your backside of your shoulder, and you're pulling on it and your body goes, hey, that feels pretty nice, but the second you let off the stretch, you're back to having a weak group on the back side and a strong group on the front side. So this is always going to win. The purple band isn't going to be the thing that's going to stretch unless you balance out the strength between these. You have a bunch of little muscles that can add up to the same strength as these couple strong ones on the front. So we want to actually strengthen this band. We want to make this bigger on the back side. We need to do some sort of strengthening exercise where we're pulling our shoulder blade into external rotation, our arm into external rotation while keeping our shoulder blade down and back. If we're doing this, now we're actually going to strengthen that backside and get more of an equal stretch. So sure, if it feels good, stretch this out. Make sure that you get a stretch down through your ribs, kind of toward your armpit when you're doing this movement. Get that nice and worked out. Hold that for 5 to 10 deep breaths minimum, okay? Don't just hang in there for 5 seconds and think you got something done. You got to stay here. Expand your ribs, stretch down into these rib heads right here where that pec minor attaches. You could hit it with a lacrosse ball or a Theragun, sure, if you want, but you gotta get that a little relaxed so you can actually pull your shoulder down and back. Then let's actually strengthen the back side of the shoulder. Step right over here with me. Face pull is one of the most effective moves we can do that with, and a resistance band, tubing, anything you got like this will work really well. We're gonna step into this position, we're gonna keep our chest high and our shoulder blades down and back, and we're gonna try to get our thumbs to beat our elbow back, okay? You shouldn't be having any pain with this, but it might be really challenging. You might have to start really, really close with very light resistance because typically these muscles are not very strong for people, okay? We're gonna try to keep our abs tight while we're doing this so all the work's going in the back side of the shoulder and our head's not jutting forward as we're doing this, okay? If this hurts at all, it's okay to only go halfway. You gotta start somewhere, okay? If you're having pain in those shoulders, again, give us a call at Venture Chiropractic. Or check out Venture Fitness. It can help get you over that pain and discomfort when you're first exercising these. But that should be pain-free. We should feel lots of work going on here and behind the shoulder blade to strengthen that muscle group so that we can keep the arm. If I just drop my arm down there, we want to keep our shoulder blades back like this and in a nice relaxed position, not always tight and hunched forward. So knock out 2 or 3 sets of 10 reps of that one. If you don't have resistance bands at home, but you still want to get started somehow, join me on the floor here for 1 second. We could lay on the floor with our head in this position and then point our thumbs up. We always want that external rotation of the shoulder. We see this mostly from the forearms, but it does help us actually externally rotate that upper arm. So we could go in this position and just start to learn to bring the hands off the floor. For a lot of people, that's going to be very, very tight. You might feel like you're almost pinned to the floor. Just start with a nice contraction. As it gets easier, lift those a little bit higher, but try to keep your spine in the same position. We don't want to just be working our lower back and thinking we're getting something done for our shoulders here, okay? So work those shoulder blades back, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, hold them back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Knock out again, 10 reps or so, and do 2 or 3 sets. We all fight this issue of rounding forward shoulders these days. Everybody's on their phones, computers, driving a lot more than they used to, so we gotta do something to offset that. You can't be in that position for 12 to 14 hours a day and then wonder why these little guys that never get any exercise going backwards can't keep up and can't keep you from rolling forward. If you have trouble with any of these movements, pain during them, give us a call at Venture Chiropractic. We'll help you get it figured out so you can do them pain-free and get you back to exercising on your own at home. We're always at Venture to help you move better, feel better, be a better you.
Everybody's moving.